Excellent. Super happy to be here and really excited to talk to all of you about the India opportunity with AI. I'm doing a presentation today that I've not done in front of an audience this large. So I'm very excited to dive deep into the kind of opportunities that AI is creating and talk to all of you more about the work we do at Karya. My name is Manu, super happy to be here. Look, at the core of AI, there are all of these incredible technologies that we're all super excited about, from natural language processing, which enables computers to understand the languages you and I speak, to computer vision, which enables the self-driving cars. If you guys have been in a Waymo in SF, it's quite magical. They are coming to more countries soon, which we're very excited about, to evaluating our models to make sure that they perform for all of us. We live in a world where, while AI may have started in some few corners of the world, it is now there everywhere. And this is the defining technology of our times for all of its cons and all of its pros. So it is a fundamental responsibility that all of us have in the room to protect the most vulnerable from its harms and to make sure that its fruits don't just get limited to the few people who are here today, right? India is many countries. I don't need to tell all of you this. We all know it, right? We feel it. We feel proud of our diversity. There are, I'll just go back, sorry. There are over 19,000 unique dialects in India. A very famous linguist who we get to work with, very prominent linguist, says that a language is just a dialect with an army. If you speak an Indian dialect, very often we will say something is a language, but two dialects within that language are so different from each other that they're basically two languages. So I like quoting the fact that India has 19,000 unique dialects, and thus 19,000, at least 19,000 unique subcultures that deserve respect, dignity, and a place in our online societies. And of course, if you pick two Indians at random, the chance that they speak a different language is 92%, making us the second most linguistically diverse country in the world. The first is Papua New Guinea, which actually is very impressive, given how tiny that country is. Look, at Karya, our goal is to build diverse, high-quality training data sets for the leaders in the tech sector and get them to care about the communities we care about. So we have the honor of working very closely with all of these logos you see on the slide. We provide a variety of AI services to them, including Vadhwani. I don't know if Sunil sir is in the audience, but including Vadhwani AI, the Gates Foundation, and of course, Government of India. Like I said, 19,000 dialects, less than 100 of them have been digitally documented. So we have a long, long, long way to go before we can truly build AI for Bharat. When I'm usually at this point in the presentation, someone can be like, wait, why do we need to care about building AI in these different dialects? Why is this important? It's important because I believe that AI can hit the death knell on the information asymmetry problem that we face in our country. Across fields like healthcare, education, agriculture, finance, language remains the biggest barrier to information, right? Just because someone grew up not speaking English or not speaking Hindi doesn't mean they don't get to have access to the best healthcare information, the best education, the best agriculture information, the best finance information. And that's what we are doing at Karya, right? So far, we pay our workers 20x the minimum wage. You heard that in the video. We've already, that video was like 6 months old, so slightly outdated. We've already employed over 100,000 people with the goal of employing 1 million people by next year. We work in every single state and every single district in the country, which we're super happy about. We've now gotten 50 million plus jobs done on the platform, up from 40 million 6 months ago. And of course, support over 200 languages, but we still have a long way to go to hit the 19,000 mark. And the goal here, of course, is to build the world's foremost ethical data pipeline and create job opportunities for our communities by working directly with the big tech giants that are building these technologies both in India and abroad. We've had the honor of working very closely with people like Satya and Sundar. We had the extreme privilege of having Satya present our work at a Microsoft keynote. He does this much better than I do, obviously. It's just a really huge privilege to have him do that. We had the chance to talk about what we're doing with Gemini and how we're supporting the Gemini team at Google I/O, working closely with the team at NVIDIA, and of course, several other teams. I want to take a quick 30-second pause and tell you what we do at Karya, in case, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. But basically, big tech companies will often have huge digital data demands. And this is not personal data, this is not private data, this is training data to train these AI models. And they use it to make these models perform better, to perform them in Indian languages better, in Indian context better. And they'll often come to us with a demand. The demand itself can be across speech, image, video, and text. Speech is often the easiest to explain, so you see that a lot in our videos, but it's across all the 4 modalities. We will take that demand and distribute it to our communities in rural India. One of the joys of living in India is we're living post the digital revolution. So we have over 84% of rural Indian households that have access to a smartphone. And that means that we can reach out to them and pay them these high wages for them to do this work. We operate as a cooperative, so our workers own the data sets. We don't own them. Our clients don't own them. They actually get to license them, and they get royalties every single time these data sets are sold. I want to take 3 examples of the kind of work that we do and walk you through them to describe what the future of work looks like and what kind of jobs AI will create. I will add a caveat here that the sector is worth $50 billion a year. That's how much the sector is spending on data sets globally. We see a very small percentage of coming into India, so the opportunity here to move millions of people out of poverty is very real, and it exists today, right? Within Indic languages, I'm not a linguist, but we work with some of the best linguists in the country, including Dr. Kalika Bali. She's the senior most linguist person in the country, and she talks deeply about how there's a scarcity of translators, there's a lack of standardized digital representation, we don't even have Unicode scripts for so many of our dialects, and of course there are connectivity and infrastructure limitations in working with tribal languages and languages, especially in the Northeast India belt. For a project with Google Translate, which I'm really, really excited about, we employed a diverse set of tribal university students and professors. We developed new scripts so that these new Unicode scripts so that these languages could be written online, and of course, employed tens of thousands of people, and that led to us translating 1.6 million words for Google Translate in a period of a few weeks, and that led to Google launching Google Translate in 16 long-tail languages, including Khasi and Garo. So you can actually go to Google Translate and see languages that weren't represented 6 months, 1 year ago. And in the process of doing that, we were able to create jobs for the communities who speak that language. Evaluation is one of those things that us tech nerds get very excited about. I'm going to make it like very quick. Basically, the way we evaluate models, the way we say which model is better than the other, is not decided, unfortunately, by our communities, but decided by a pair of experts that often have no idea on how our communities would want to use AI, right? So there's, of course, the lack of local and cultural nuances in these biases. There's a bunch of problems. We fix them by bringing this work to low-income communities across every state in the country. And working with Microsoft, we actually did the largest evaluation of LLMs yet. What it taught us was the models are not as good as we think. The questions that our communities have from our models are questions like, I'm a government school teacher in Chennai. My husband wants to move to Bangalore. I don't speak Kannada. How do I transfer from this school system to that school system, right? That's a question that one of our community members had, and no AI model today can answer that question well, because there's entirely missing data sets and corpora for us to train on, right? And that's the general idea of something we did there. Gender, of course, is very, very close to our heart at Karya. Should be no surprise to any of us that AI is extremely gendered and extremely misogynistic. You can play around with any translation tool online, and you can ask a question like, the boss is coming, and it'll translate it to boss aa raha hai in Hindi using the male version. Hindi is gendered, much like Spanish and French for people in the audience who don't speak Hindi. And you can give it explicit assignments to gender. You can say boss is coming and her name is Bethany, and then it'll say boss aa raha hai or uska naam Bethany hai, ignoring the explicit assignment of gender. The reason this is because corpora fundamentally is more biased. Generative AI is 2.5 times more biased, gender biased, than the best AI we had before all of this happened. And of course, there's a lot of bias that's been embedded in the technologies we use across the board. The way we fix it is employ women, right? This is not rocket science. The best way to build inclusive AI is to employ the communities we want to include. That is it, right? That is the message at the core of Karya, right? Like, technologies will work for all of us if all of us are involved in the process of building these technologies. Working with the Gates Foundation, we are building the largest gender-intentional AI corpora in Indian history. We're very, very excited about this project. We've been doing it for the last 2 years. It wraps up this year, and we're very excited to open source all of this data, and hopefully it'll make technologies that you and I use just a little bit more gender-intentional. That's my message for all of you today. I wanted to talk about those 3 projects to dive deep a little bit into what we do at Karya and what sort of opportunities we see. Fundamentally, we believe at our core that low-income communities are just that, low income, not low talent, they're just low opportunity. Talent is universal, opportunity is not. AI will create so many more opportunities for all of us to earn and learn, and it is our responsibility to bring those opportunities to people that we have systematically left behind. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you. And if you scan that, you get more stuff. But yeah.
Hang on. What an amazing system, right?
Thank you.
Couple of questions. How does this work? So there's a lady, a woman in a little village. What does that person have to do? Download an app?
Yes.
Just explain that.
Oh, absolutely. So it is an Android app, and you simply download the app. And then on the app, you get these digital tasks. And all you have to do is sit at your home and just do these tasks, and you start getting paid immediately.
Okay. And then how much money did you pay these people last year?
Ooh, not public information,
Okay.
but it's $3.5 million last year, and on track to do so much more. It's exciting.
Amazing, amazing impact, Manu. Thank you. And Manu is one of our new voices at Indiaspora who came to Abu Dhabi and is here right now. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.